Alrighty, so we're back on Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. I think it was originally released as Fast and the Furious Presents Tokyo Drift, so take that as you will. This is first one that was considered more of a spin-off as it tried to move away from everything else. Eventually swerved back into relevance because at first it didn't seem to have much to do with the rest of the series, but other than a tie-in at the end cameo. But here we go. Um, for the most part, this is just another one mostly focused on underground street racing. I think it's one of the last ones before it really started jumping the rails on that. They started driving cars into space. Fast series is weird. Anyway, this one, a young delinquent is getting kicked out of school again, so it's given the choice of being sent to prison for reckless driving and wrecking bullies' cars, or going to live with his father in Japan. So that's what he does, and he gets involved in underground street racing, particularly drifting along, where you essentially pull the e-brake and let the car drift along corners, and doing a lot of that in parking garages for this. And he ends up getting indebted to fan favorite character Han, the main takeaway from this movie, really. And he breaks into the underground street racing circuit. This movie is a lot lower stakes than some of the other ones, from what I recall. I don't remember there being. Again, this has been a little while since I've seen it now. I don't really remember much of the other plot points other than he's got a drift, and he's trying to impress cute Japanese girl and get her away from the asshole. It's Fast and the Furious High School Edition, really, is what this is. Or at least what it feels like. I think he's in high school. I don't. He just lists him as a teenager for most of what I'm reading here, but I'm pretty sure it's just. Which puts it. This movie feels a lot more juvenile than the other ones. That said, it isn't a bad film. It's fun. It is. It starts to get a little hokey over the top for some of the situation that goes on, particularly for him working with how over the top things are for him and Han, and the weird relationship he has with his father. But I don't know. Personally, I thought it was better than Too Fast, Too Furious, so I'm gonna give this one like 5 MacGuffins. But otherwise, it's more of what you're expecting. Though I think this one uses a lot more CG for the drifting rather than they started actually taking a little bit away from the actual driving. The other ones did that to some extent also, but this is where it's most noticeable. Um, Otherwise, the acting does feel a little bit shakier than it does in the other ones, but that's because you got the high school angle, and that always has a certain flavor to it. Um, I didn't really talk about this for the other ones, but the soundtracks on all the Fast and the Furious are pretty good. They really get you in the mood for it. So I will give that props. It's something that's pretty consistent so far over the first 3 Fast movies. All right. Um, Otherwise, it's just an excuse to have Fast and the Furious in Tokyo, I guess. They stopped needing excuses for things much more down the road, but here we are. And Han is pretty cool. I will give it that. I can see why a lot of people really like him as a character. He's he's just cool. I'll give it that. He alone is what's putting this one above the last one, despite its other flaws. 5 MacGuffins. Yeah. That's all I'm going to be doing for the Fast series for right now, since I haven't gotten around to the other ones, and they're not really a high priority on my watch list right now. And I'm still in the number, so I'm a long way from F. So we'll get to them eventually, but for now, that's all I got on it. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to do for tonight. My backlog is still bad. It's bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least another 6 reviews deep. Why do I procrastinate this much? Okay. We'll get there. In fact, I've got a streaming binge movie from 2 weeks ago I haven't even talked about yet. We'll get there. Okay, guys. Peace.